I want to acknowledge that these are impossible choices. This is not a criticism of staff or that this was necessarily not a well thought out plan.
The budget modification.
The Multnomah County Board voting on how to handle a $28 million cut in funding for homeless services. The county says it's losing this money from the state because the state is losing the money from the federal government. Now they're looking at ways to make cuts and changes to existing services. Katu's Tanvi Verma has the story.
The Cook Plaza shelter behind me is part of the county board's decision to make room in the budget. That is, this place will no longer be expanding. The Multnomah County Board looking at ways to fill a $28 million hole. That's how much the county's losing in state funding for homeless services this year.
I don't think there are easy decisions to be made.
In part because the county's already struggling to address the issue.
I think it's really critical that people understand that we're seeing more people become homeless than we're able to house each month, which means that while we're doing really good work, we still have more people falling into the trauma of homelessness.
To save services, the board voted to backfill $20 million of those dollars, in part by changing their homeless shelter model. The county will save about $4.5 million using motel rooms as opposed to leasing buildings. The county will also utilize reserve funding from a supportive housing bond, and it'll borrow money from next year's budget.
The proposal that passed took $3 million from next year and put it into this year. And I understand is to reduce the impact of reductions, but that really makes our hole even bigger.
The strategy that was put forth by the chair also borrows money from next year to fill this year's hole, just creating a bigger cliff next year.
The plan also means that the county will have to reduce the amount of people they can provide subsidized housing for. But it prevents the county from reducing existing shelter beds, which Board Chair Jessica Vega-Peterson says is important.
One thing that our community can agree on is it doesn't make sense if somebody is currently housed to take away those resources that would end them up on the street.
A few counselors tell us they're concerned that the county is focusing too much on shelter beds as opposed to a long-term strategy. To see our interviews with 4 of the 5 board members, you can go to our YouTube channel. That's K2 on YouTube. We're working to upload those interviews. Reporting in Gresham, Tanvi Verma, K2 News.
Thanks, Tanvi.